Would you like most to attack, mate?
Oh, I probably had the defence. Well, I like the start. I thought we started really good, but we made it really hard on ourselves the last 15 minutes of the first half. We just didn't complete our sets, and you start giving South some ball inside your own, somewhere near your try line. You'd think at some stage they're going to bust you, especially with those, the big Burgess boys. So I thought we'd done a really good job defensively on them, but like I say, we just made it really hard for ourselves after a really good start. And I must say, I thought we finished pretty strongly too. So but in the middle there, like I say, we just need to hang on to the ball a bit more.
Are you surprised by the start? Was it more down to you guys, or did you think they were a bit flat early on?
I don't know. Again, I suppose could have been a little bit of both, but like I say, we were very happy with the way we started, so I can't sort of control or really want to comment on how they started, but we started good, and we had real good control of the game. I thought we were down their end a lot, and probably our attack wasn't quite as sharp as we probably would like, when we had some attacking sets down there, but we weren't far off, but and again, having said that, they're obviously a good defensive side, South. They led the comp for most of the year, so like I say, our start was good, but like I say, we just lost our way there the last 15 minutes of the first half with our ball control, and give them a hand back into the game.
When Jesse Bromwich scored that try early, I think it was 4 blokes in the tackle and they grabbed him back 5 or 6 metres. That's what you're talking about. It's just all attitude, isn't it?
Yeah, it is, Paul. And again, I think he was about 5 metres, in the field of play as well. So for our guys to get there in that many numbers and keep him up and get him back in was tremendous effort. And you're not going to get that reward all the time, but again, they got the reward this time, and like I say, it was just really part of our good start.
Cameron, what sort of changed after the Warriors game? You obviously get a purple patch, no pun intended, since then. What changed?
Well, obviously the change last week was just our ball control and our execution of our plays. We didn't play any sort of flash footy last week. It was just all simple style of play, and our basis of our game was just to build pressure. And obviously the scoreline blew out a fair bit last week, but we just wanted to get back to not putting ourselves under pressure. That's what we did over in New Zealand. We just not taking anything away from the Warriors. They played well, but we certainly didn't help ourselves. We made some fundamental errors, and tonight we sort of slipped back into that in the last sort of 15 minutes of the first half, and then I think Kevy Proctor come up with 2 drops in the play ball to start the second half. So that's the sort of things we need to get out of our game. We're a good footy side when we play simple and we get to our kicks. It's what works for us, and it has for a number of years. It doesn't matter who's in the team or who we're playing against. It works for us. So that's what we've been talking about in our meetings and the way we've been training. Is just keeping things simple and getting to our kick.
Do you think you'll be seeing a fair bit of South in September based on what you saw tonight?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, they're a great footy side. They have been all year. I think they've been the most consistent footy team all year. Obviously over the last couple of weeks they haven't had results go their way, but they've got a couple of injuries at the moment. In particular, Greg English, you take him out of any footy side, and he's a bit of a blow for your team. But by all reports, I think he's going to be back next week. I think he's talking to a couple of South players out there tonight. I think he's pretty close tonight, but he'll be a big inclusion when he gets back, and all the players around him will be more confident when Greg English is on the field too. So I think they'll be in the finals for sure, and we'll see plenty of them.
You put your arm in the
No, it's just a bump on the arm. It's just an oversized ice pack. That's all. That's why it looks like that. But no, it's just a bump early on the arm, and we've got to make sure we're coming into obviously the business end of the season, Mel. So all these little things we've got to take care of.
Was there any other injuries?
Well, we just had a couple of, I think he just cramped up. I think Jordan McLean, he sort of cramped up a bit. Noz tweaked his ankle a touch, so just a whole heap of sort of minor things. So I don't think there's anything there too serious.
Those lapses you were talking about earlier, Cameron, is that down to, what's it come down to, concentration, or is it, just trying to do too much?
No, it is concentration. There's no doubt about it. It's a simple error in the play of the ball. I think Mahi had two, Offie had one. We had another one in that first half. We had four sort of in that last 15 or 20 minute period. That you just can't have that in your game. It's a simple skill that you need to understand that. When you're playing the ball, you're the most important person on the field. That you've got to get up and play. You've got to have ball security. And the good sides, they put pressure on you in the tackle. They put pressure on you in the ruck, and they're going to have hands around the ball, and they're going to make it hard for you to get up and play the ball as fast as you can. So, they certainly don't help. I thought we did a really good job to stay in the game in that period and defend those errors. They come up with a try right on half time, which is pretty disappointing, particularly off a kick. But take those things out of our game, and we're going to be pretty hard to beat. But we're not going to get ahead of ourselves. It was a really good win against the best side in the comp tonight. But we need to make sure that we're improving on the game tonight and making sure our performances are more clinical in the next few weeks.
Craig, Frank, you said you want to say something about the nines you talked about yesterday.
Oh, again, I probably I wasn't. I'd like to say I was misquoted, but I wasn't. I probably, when I said that none of our World Cup players be playing in the nines, I was basically talking about our Australian players. Well, the guys will be in the Australian side, obviously our big three, I suppose. So that's what I meant. Not, I don't know how many guys we're going to have the World Cup sides. We'll have a couple in Tonga and Samoa and Fiji, obviously, and obviously we'll have 3 or 4 in the Kiwi side too, I'd imagine. So there was a little bit of kerfuffle about that.
I thought all the World Cup players were exempt from the nines anyway. I thought their award said they weren't supposed to play them.
No, well, again, I think there's a couple of stipulations. You've got to play one of your top 5, and your top 5 is considered your top 5 by how much they're paid. And so your top 5 in your salary cap, and then I think you've got to play 12 of your top 25 in it as well. So, like I say, some teams are going to have 8, 10, 12 players involved in the World Cup because of the different teams and people pulling out different passports and playing for different sides. So that's what I meant. Basically our, for want of a better word, our big three.
Craig, what were your thoughts on the scrapping of the All-Stars game?
Well, I said that yesterday too. At the end of the day, it's to me it's really disappointing in that I understand why they've done it because again a lot of these guys that are going to play or would have played in that game won't have much preparation time after the World Cup. But like I say, I spent the week with the Indigenous boys this year, and as I said, it was one of the most enjoyable preparations I've ever had for a game of footy. And the other thing that really stands out to me, how important that game is to the Indigenous boys. And, it's not only the players, it was the staff that was there as well, So, like I say, I'm a little bit, sad for them because, it is really important to them. And, they see it as a way to help their people. And like I say, they really look forward to that game. So, but they tell me it's only going to be, banned for the 1 year or, one in every 4 years when the World Cup's on. So hopefully they'll stick to that because, as I said, it's really important to those guys. Really important.
Thanks, mate.
Thanks, Ross.